Okay. So, sorry, just can you hear me now?
Yes.
So much. Yes,
Yes,
because
perfectly.
right. Yeah, okay, no problem.
Yes, it's all
Uh,
fine.
okay, so let me put from here. So we start with the questions. What is needed to enter the championship? Requirements are that you need 2025 ORC double-handed international certificate issued not later than 1st September 2025, APH between 418 and 630, and flotation date not earlier than 7th September 2020. Yes, I think that I am in a full screen mode. But yeah, I hope that you can see it. So it's important you still have 5 days to issue to get the certificate issued. There are some boats that at this moment does not have 25 the ORC International double-handed ORC International certificate. I know that some of these boats are in the process of getting it. Sorry, just to double check. Let's see. Let me sorry, maybe start again as Matteo is reporting that I'm not on the full screen. So let me try to do another thing. Is it sorry.
Maybe you
Is it
can
now
click.
better?
Yeah, that's it.
Is it now better?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm sharing complete screen now. Okay. So the boats without ORC certificate at the moment are listed here. I know that some of these boats are in the process of getting and including the my way that I was just came back today, was measuring the boat in Pula. And I know that the other boats are Raptor was also measured recently, and I have to process certificate. And a couple of other boats are still here on the list. I know that Argo is measured. They just need to go to finalize certificate. But if your boat is still on this list, and if you are in this call, please be sure that you have your certificate issued before 1st of September. If there's any good reason or any problem that you cannot have certificate issued before 1st of September, then please make us a request or something to understand what's the problem, and we can, in some special cases,
Zoran, you muted.
yeah, I'm not sure. It seems that someone has the possibility to mute me. I don't understand. Can you hear me now?
Yes, it wasn't me, by the
Okay.
way.
Sorry. Okay. Okay. So, as said, please, if you are on this list, be sure to do something before 1st of September. Then the next thing is that flotation date. So means that the date when the boat was measured in the water with a freeboard and stability shall not be earlier, later, or older than 5 years before the start of the championship, which in our case is 7 September 2020. Currently, there are three boats with those who are entered with a flotation date earlier than 7th September 2020. I know that Dubrovnik is in process of remeasurement or at least rechecking the flotation before. And the two boats, McCube and Carbon 2, also, please be sure that you have your uh, contact your measurer and to get your flotation measurement checked and remeasured to get the flotation dates after or less than 5 years old. So these three boats also, please be sure that your flotation date is complying with the notice of race. Then the next thing is all sales shall be measured. By all sales, I mean everything that you have. Main sales, head sales set on the forestay, head sales set flying, symmetric and asymmetric spinnakers, and they shall be measured according to the IMS rule and having the measurement stamp with all the measurements as shown here. Additionally, storm and heavy weather sales shall be measured according to the offshore special regulation. Basically, this is slightly different measurements that are needed, and it is important to have area of these sales recorded. We will come later when we speak about these sales. All sales shall have a measurement stamp or sticker with all required measurements clearly readable. So the numbers here needs to be clearly readable. If you come with something that we cannot read or we cannot understand what are the measurements of the sale, or if the sale is not measured, the sale can be measured at the venue, but then appropriate measurements will be charged. So I'm always saying, please check that all your sales are measured. Please check that you can read all the measurements, and be sure that every sale that you have on the boat has a sticker like this with all the measurements, including the heavy weather and storm jib. Pre-race equipment inspection will take place from Sunday 7th, Monday 8th, and Tuesday 9th September. So on Sunday and Monday we are working full days from 9 to 1 o'clock in the morning and from 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the evening. There is just a small lunch break between 1 and 2 o'clock. The same thing will be for Monday and the Tuesday only in the morning. You were probably received an email from the online scheduling system called Doodle, where you can select your slot when you want to be expected. At this moment, I would say that probably, I would say maybe 60% of the fleet has already selected this. If you didn't do it so far, please double check your email boxes. Please check that it's maybe not finished in some spam folder or something. But there is an email from the system that is called Doodle and that is inviting you to select your time when you want to be checked. Basically, it's up to you to say every day there are 45-minute slots for each boat. So in the morning, in the afternoon, there is a 5 slots where you can select where you want to be. We have enough slots, altogether 75 for the 3 teams who will be working there. So there is no problem that there will not be space or time for you. You just need to be sure, and then according to the time you are coming and expecting to be in Monfalcone, please select your slot. Again, if you already did not, please double check your email and double check your spam folder. Maybe just to be clear, that email was sent to the email address that is registered with your online entry. So I got from the organizers all the email addresses, and that email was sent to that email address. If you're using another one, be sure that you are checking the email address that you put in your registration. How to get prepared? So boat shall be at her designated berth. Basically, you don't need to search for us. We will search for you. You'll be ready at a scheduled time with responsible person, owner, and/or skipper. Obviously, you are sailing only in 2, so one of you should at least be on the boat. Present all the sails with the corner taken out from the bag, showing the ORC measurement stamp. Make a clear decision which sails you want to use during the championship, and have all safety equipment ready for inspection. So we will explain you when I say make a clear decision. Obviously, you may have more than sails depending on the size of your boats. And theoretically, for example, you may have 8 spinnakers, and if your maximum is 5, then you need to select which 5 you will use for this championship. So the maximum number of sails that you can have is defined by ORC rule 206.1, and is basically it's based on your CDL, which frankly we are not using as a class limit class division here, but the reference still remains for the number of sails. Basically, this number of sails is written on your certificate, and you can see what is the maximum number of sails that you can have. So each boat, you select the maximum number of sales. Each boat each sale that is selected will get an event sticker, and only sales marked with an event sticker may be on board during the event. Sale is carried on board may vary from day to day, but shall remain the same for each race day, including days for the multiple races. Obviously, we don't have multiple races, but the fact is that we have two races here. We have short offshore race and long offshore race, and you may select and go out with one sales for the short offshore race and different sales for the long offshore race. But from the moment when you leave the dock, this is your decision, and you cannot come later and ask if you go out with one mainsail and you leave the other mainsail ashore and you damage that one mainsail and then you have to abandon the race because of this. You cannot come back ashore and ask, can I put now the second mainsail? No, if you want to have this a second mainsail, it shall be on board. So please be sure that you go out with the sails that you want and that you may use during the race. But at the moment when you are leaving the dock, that's it. That you cannot come back or even keep some chase boat with the sails or something like this. It's not complicated. It's simply your decision to have the sail inventory, whichever suits you the best. Sail, sales damage during event may be repaired, but this is obviously applying only, let's say, between the inshore, short and long offshore race. So this is not for the one race exactly. This is if you, for example, break one sail on the short offshore race and you ask for replacement, this can be done, but obviously after the race and before the start of the next day for the long offshore race. The next thing that we are checking if there is any internal ballast, weight and position is checked. And internal ballast, be sure that is properly fixed below the cabin sole or as low as possible, fixed to the hull structure to prevent movement. Permanently fixed means that cannot be can be in the terms of bolting, welding, or some Sikaflex material, really fixed to the boat structure, so it cannot be moved in any way while racing for the internal ballast. For the boats that have possibility to have water ballast tanks, if you decide that you will not be using, then we will probably find a way to put kind of secure system that we know that the pump or the system will not be used. Of course, if you are using the water ballast and if it is recorded in the certificate, your rating will be, calculating accordingly. But if you have the water ballast and you declare that you will not use it, we will find a way to make some protection that we know that you cannot use it during the race. If there is slight difference for the double-handed events in relation in comparison to the fully crewed events, because here, as we have only two crew members, we will do crew weight before the start. The crew weight crew is weighted in a light street clothes and shall not be greater than maximum recorded in a certificate. Light street clothes, this simple definition, you need at least short trousers, t-shirt, and flip-flops. This is the minimum. You have only two crew members, and the crew weight is your declaration in the certificate. So be sure to have your crew weight within the minimum and maximum recorded in the certificate. You simply know more or less how much is your crew weight. You can always declare some safe margin that you are not above or below. And then even if we find something that is out of the certificate before the start, we can ask for an update of the certificate. But please be sure it's much easier if you are from the beginning following what you have in the certificate and do declare exactly how much you will have for the crew weight. Is there any question up to now? Because now I will switch to the second part that is more about safety equipment. That is always putting more questions. So let's put a short break just to understand if there is any question about the slides I presented so far.
No question on the chat so
Good.
far.
Good. So let's go to the safety equipment. The easiest way to be sure that you have all the
Sorry,
safety
sorry,
equipment
one
is to
Sorry.
question.
download.
One question, excuse
Yep,
me. Is there a
yep.
tolerance in crew weight? I mean, plus minus 2 or 5 kilo based on 2 people, or just it has to be
No,
exact?
no, the crew weight shall not be greater than maximum or smaller than minimum. And the reason why there is no tolerance, because it's your declaration. So if you know that your crew weight together is, I don't know, 180 kilos, nothing stops you to declare 185 and to be on the safe side.
Okay.
So
Thank
there
you.
is no tolerance on the crew weight because
Okay.
you are setting up the tolerance by your declaration of crew weight.
Okay, noted. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Zoran, sorry, just
Yes,
going back to the Doodle email. I
yeah,
think there
yes,
are a couple of people like Marcelo and Luca, Marcelo
okay,
Periolo and Luca Barozzi, that are saying that they didn't receive the email. So is there
okay.
something that we can put somewhere, or we're gonna resend it to them?
No, okay. So just to explain, this email is supposed to be sent one email to every person. When it is public, and then we have a problem that everyone is clicking and starting. That it's a big mess. But I noted this, and as soon as we finish this call, I will send a personal email to the email addresses I have with a link to those who didn't yet register. So after this meeting, you will probably receive, and not from Doodle, let's say from my ORC email address, exactly the link. And but again, please be sure that you are using the email address that you used for register in the online when you are entering the event. Okay, so coming back to the safety equipment, the easiest way to be sure that you have all the safety equipment is simply you probably can find that already on the website. I think you can see my screen now. There is a checklist that on the first page is showing you what you need to have, and on the second, third, and fourth page there is a short explanation for each item. Okay, so this is the checklist, and if you go further, I'm sorry, maybe it's a little bit slow by uploading, but you will find it on the basically on the website, and then there is explanation for each item that is required, which I will also now go through my presentation. So please, the easiest way, print this list and do your check exactly as we are doing, and start with this. Do I have this? Yes. Do I have this? Yes. Do I have this? No. Yes. No. What I am missing? If you have any doubts or any item missing, that you can always email us. Matteo will put also my email address in the chat box. If there is any thing that you are not 100% sure that it's complying or not. But again, I really hope that we are trying to make your life easier and also our life easier when checking these boats, that you have the list that you can go on and check before coming. I still have to admit that after this is the fourth championship we are doing this year, we still have people coming and missing some items which on the end you probably can buy and can find in somewhere in the marina, but on the end can be definitely probably less expensive if you make sure that you have everything before going there. So the list, I'm going back to the list here, and please be sure that you have all these items. And this is kind of short list. That doesn't mean that the complete requirements for OSR category 3 is still responsibility of the owner. Yes, we will come to see the question about radar reflector. It's okay, and I will come now through it. Let's go one by one, and we will show you what is needed altogether. So navigation lights needs to be mounted above shear lines so they will not be masked by sails or heeling of the boat. You need reserve lights having the same specification and can be powered independently, and spare bulbs that are not required for when you have LED lights. Marine VHF transceiver is needed, let's say, in the boat as the main communication channel. Minimum rated output power of 25 watts, mask and antenna, and coaxial feeder cable with not more than 40% power loss. In addition, there is a handheld VHF transceiver that you need, watertight or with a waterproof cover when not in use, to be stored in a grab bag or emergency container. I will come back also later on this grab bag with clear specification what is in the grab bag, because there are some items that are already required and some items are required only in the grab bag. So please just be careful when we speak later about it. AIS transponder. So we need an AIS transponder which either shares the masthead VHF antenna or has dedicated AIS antenna. And AIS shall be active from the first day of equipment inspection until the end of the event. So we need to see it is a safety feature. It is also the things that other boats in regatta, but also any other vessels can see you. And it's quite important. And we may also, when we are doing the checks, when the team is coming to your boat, they may use marine traffic or something or some app just to understand if they see you on your AIS. Be sure that your AIS is working properly. You need tapers of wood plugs to every through hole opening. Fire extinguisher, a fire blanket adjusting to every cooking device with an open flame. 2 fire extinguisher, each with 2 kilos of dry powder or equivalent in different parts of the boat. Flashlight in a searching light, a searchlight suitable for searching for a person overboard at night and for collision avoidance. A watertight flashlight shall be stored in the grab bag. Again, we will come back to the grab bag, and spare batteries and bulbs for both. First aid kit, manual and first aid kit. Then additionally, you need the foghorn, an effective means to quickly disconnect or sever the standing rigging from the boat. So rigging cutter, something that can cut the rigging in the case of, let's hope it will not be needed, but in the case that your boat is dismasted, you need an efficient way to disconnect the rigging from the boat. And the knife, another one stored in the grab bag. This was the question. The radar reflector can be octahedral circular plates of minimum diameter 30 centimeters or octahedral rectangular plates of minimum diagonal dimension 40 centimeters or non previous. Or can be non-octahedral reflector. This was the question that was already answered. Navigational charts are needed, not so electronic. I know that many of you now having obviously either charts on your phone, iPad, computer, or something, but still navigational charts are required. Magnetic compass capable of being using as a steering compass, and permanently installed marine magnetic steering compass independent of any power supply. Second compass, which may be handheld and or electronic. The charts needs to cover the area where we expect, and this will obviously be Northern Adriatic area covering Bay of Trieste and Monfalcone and part of Croatia, including the coast of the west coast of Istria, and probably, as now is discussion, the long offshore race can go up to the island of Susak and Unije in Croatia. There is one question, but I think I will probably come later to this. So for the pyrotechnic signals, shall be provided conforming with the solar cell code. You need 4 red hand flares and 2 orange smoke flares. This is for pyrotechnics. We will also come later to additional pyrotechnics needed in the Grebek. Additional, you need bilge pump and 2 strong buckets, each with lanyard of at least buckets at least 9 liters, 1 permanently installed manual bilge pump, and all required permanently installed bilge pumps shall be operable with all cockpit seats, hatches, and companions ways shut, and with permanently stored discharge pipes of sufficient capacity. All removable bilge pump handles shall be retained by a lanyard. Anchors, that's always one of the questions that we are often getting, that how big the anchor should be. First of all, there should be suitable combination of anchor chain and rope for the size of the boat. The rule doesn't say exactly, but interpretation should be that the anchor should be of substantial weight. The chain shall be in a range of 1 kilo per meter of the boat, plus the rope added to it. You need basically to have it something that is ready for deployment in 5 minutes. So you cannot probably do not think that to have, I don't know, anchor in the bow, chain in the stern, and rope somewhere else. So you need to be able to deploy the anchor and chain within the 5 minutes. For boats less than 8.5 meters of the length, there should be only 1 anchor. So there are a couple of small boats, I know, and they can have only 1 anchor, but again, always be sure to have suitable combination of chain and rope. Life jackets, this is one of the things that we are having lots of questions and checks, and many times people will need to buy one. So please be sure to have exactly what is required. This means that you need a life jacket which shall have an emergency position indicating light, whistle, lifting loop, automatic manual gas inflation system. It shall be clearly marked with the boat's or wearer's name, and have also the spray hood in accordance with ISO 12402. And both shall have at least 1 inflatable life jacket per cylinder, and if appropriate, spare activation head for each type of life jackets on board. Again, you are sailing in 2, so it's not that there is whole crew that needs lots of these life jackets. But again, be sure to have the life jackets that have all these features, meaning position indicating light, whistle, lifting loop, and the spray hood. This is important to check before you are going. Additional requirements by the notice of race is that life jacket shall be worn while the boat is afloat, except when she is made fast or moored, or if the crew is below the deck. So basically, you need on the deck always to have life jackets because you are sailing in 2. Tethers is one of our favorite items and the questions that goes out. So let's try to be as clear as possible. The tethers can be either 2-point or 3-point tethers. These 2-point tethers shall not be longer than 1 meter, and in each case, the tethers shall have self-closing hook on each side. The other option is that you have the 3-point tether, and then the distance between the 2 most distant points shall not be more than 2 meters. Again, self-closing hooks are required. However, the only, let's say, exception may be when you have the release system on the harness itself. I think there is a spin lock or something like this. Then you may have one end of the tether without the hook, but you need to show us that you can easily release your tethers from the harness. Otherwise, you need to have the tethers with the self-closing hooks. Tethers needs to have overload indicator flag embedded in the stitching and be manufactured after 2000. Again, probably it's easier because all the boats you are sailing with the two crew members only. So please be sure, double check that you have tethers that are complying with the rules. Coming back now to the grab bag, as we said. So the grab bag needs to have something like this with you can see on the picture. The minimum contest is watertight handheld marine VHF receiver with the space batteries that I mentioned before. The watertight flashlight with the spare batteries and the bulb, also mentioned before. Now, 3 red hand flares in addition to 4 already required. The watertight strobe light with the spare batteries, mentioned before, and the knife in addition to 1 already required in the cockpit. So the grab bag shall have inherent flotation and area of fluorescent orange color on the outside and shall be marked with the name of the boat and shall have a lanyard and a clip. So this is the grab bag. Maybe when you go through the list, start with the grab bag and double check that you have all these things within the grab bag. The light buoy is needed with the self-igniting light, a whistle and a drog, and should be within the reach of the helmsman and ready for immediate use. Heaving line no less than 6 millimeter diameter, 15 to 25 meters long, readily accessible to cockpit. Recovery sling, this is so the item used to pick up the person, the man overboard. Buoyant line no less than the shorter of 4 times of LOA or 36 meters. Basically, it's something that you need probably to have it as already as a package, as we had on some championship that people are trying like to construct something, but be sure that having all these requirements are probably met with those that are simply produced as a recovery sling for the boat. Lifelines, all the lifelines shall be of stranded stainless steel wire. So Dynama lifelines are not allowed. Even if you have it maybe on the transom, no Dynama is allowed. The only part is maybe first 150 millimeters at the beginning or in the end, you can have some short part that is connecting the starting, let's say the lifeline of stainless steel. But it's important to know that no Dynama lifelines is allowed for category 3. And from our experience, it has been many boats that needed to change this before the start of the raid. The rule is simply like this, and it's I am repeating again because I know that we had the problems with this in the past. Also, the lifeline shall be if you apply the 4 kilos on the midpoint of the longest span between supports, then the upper or single lifeline shall not have the flexion more than 50 millimeters, and the intermediate shall not have the flexion more than 120 millimeters. Jack stays shall be mounted on each side of the deck, enable a crew member to move readily between the working areas on the deck and the cockpit with the minimum of clipping and unclipping operation. So here is the boat races or offshore races, and you need to have these jack stays mounted on the deck. Then you need a clipping point adjusted to the stations as a helm, sheet, winches, and mast, where crew member work, enable a crew member to clip on before coming on the deck and unclip after going below. Coming back now to the storm and heavy weather sails. So you need a heavy weather jib with the area not greater than this formula shown. Basically, on your certificate, you have these maximum areas for the trysail, storm jib, and heavy weather jib. Heavy weather jib shall have readily available means independent of a love groove to attach to the stay. And then either you need a trysail or mainsail reefing to reduce the luff by at least 40%. So just to be clear, storm jib as a storm jib is not required. You are required to have heavy weather jib. However, if you have a storm jib, you can use it as a heavy weather because its area is obviously much smaller than the heavy weather jib. If you have the heavy weather jib, then you be sure that this jib also have readily available means to attach to the stay independent of the lav group. About the trysail, storm trysail shall with no headboard and no buttons. And if it is purchased after 2013, shall have a highly visible color, pink, orange, or yellow. If you don't have a trysail, you may have the mainsail with a reefing to reduce the lav by at least 40%. But be sure that this at least 40% is probably not second, is probably third reef. And if you select to have this option, we will need to measure your sail and to understand that your reefing point is reducing your lav by at least 40%. So in many cases, as we have seen before, is that people are thinking I have two reefs and it's enough. Probably it's not enough. You need to see. So basically, if, for example, your P measurement, so your lav measurement is 10 meters, then means that you need to have that reefing point at 4 meters from the bow. In addition, you need emergency tiller capable of being fitted to the rudder stock, except so when the emergency tiller is not needed. When your principal method is steering by means of unbreakable metal tiller, or there are two methods of controlling rudder, neither of which share components with the other except for the rudder stock. Basically, the boat with the twin rudders that have two wheels, basically, and that can be independently run, then you don't need emergency tiller. And the last but not least, quite important, this is category 3 with life raft required. Life raft is required complying with ISO 9650. By the notice of race, there is one exception. ORC 4.20.3E that shall not apply. This means that life raft shall not be stowed below deck adjacent to companionway. Just to explain, this rule allows this for the boats earlier than some age. However, since you are sailing in two only, the requirement and experience we have so far is to have a life raft always on the deck or open space. So the life raft, you have two possibilities. One should be either a rigid container security stove on the working deck, in the cockpit, or in open space. If it is a valise type, soft type bag, then shall be secure stowed in a dedicated watertight locker in the cockpit. So basically, if you want to have, or if you have the soft type, valise type, it can be only if you have dedicated watertight locker in the cockpit. Otherwise, you need to have rigid container securely stowed on the working deck in the cockpit or in open space. I hope this is clear about the life raft. And obviously, life raft needs to be for at least two persons. Normally, it's probably you will have those that are for the 4 persons. It's obviously okay. And again, please double check all the requirements for the life raft. If you have any questions, I know that I got one email from the Swedish boat, and basically, again, from what I could see from the pictures provided, it seems to me that life raft was okay. So this completes the presentation of the safety equipment. I see that there are some questions going in the chat, but thank you, Matteo, for helping and answering the clear answer question. Is there anything that we want to put in open discussion that everyone else can maybe pick up?
We have some question about the material of the heavy weather jeep. And I refer the person to the OSR. There is some
Perfect.
description about which material the body of the sail should be, and the color. And also there is a question from Marcelo about is it the Spera be considered as a reliable way to steer the boat? Maybe Marcelo can explain a little bit more about this.
Yeah, please go ahead. I understood the question. So Marcelo, please go ahead.
Okay, yes, thank you very much. Because I use the spare to steer in emergency my boat. I already checked if I give, let's say, like the length on my firm, then I with let's say if I want to turn starboard side, I use the starboard winch and make it closer in that way, so the boat is turned starboard. Or having, let's say, two lines, I can release your hand and winch on spot, then the boat just steers outside. So I just that's the technique. Reliable way but the presentation was we want to have the something that can be used if I make that.
Okay, the audio is quite bad, Marcelo, so
Yes.
probably we got some bits and pieces, but for what I can understand, you asked for if this method of steering the boat was okay. What we require is we only require an emergency tiller. So if you have a method to steer the boat in case if you break the rudder, for example, that's great for you. I guess we're not gonna check that or inspect that. But if you have experience that this method is working for your boat, for sure. But in the safety, it will be only checked the emergency tiller. So in case if you break the tiller, not the rudder.
Yeah. Thank you, Matteo.
You're welcome.
And there are other questions in the chat. We can go to it if you can follow.
There is something from Luca that it's about life raft and a soft bag. He said it has always been allowed under deck for my boat that has an age series of 1994.
Yes.
Well,
But I need to be very clear on this, that the notice of race was clearly taking out this rule. And since from the moment when the notice of race was published, it was clearly published that, again, this is a safety rule. And in the case of the two double-handed crews, it can be dangerous and quite difficult for two persons or one person, unfortunately, to pick up the life raft from the inside of the boat. And for that reason, and from the experience we had from the past, this rule was clearly taken out for this event. Maybe if he's referring to fully crew event, I can maybe understand, but for the double-handed events, this is the safety rule, and it was felt since the moment when the notice of race was published that would be better not to allow this.
and there is an interesting question from Manuel Polo.
Sorry, can I ask one more question? I'm Luca.
Luca, yes, for sure.
Yes. Okay.
I come live. I was referring to the European ORC double-ended championship of last year, and it was definitely allowed inside. I bought a ISO specific life raft for the championship, a soft one, because in the OSR it is allowed, and I don't know if you can have a different safety rule that is more strict than the OSR. I mean, the OSR should be for all events. Never.
Yes.
Okay. Given this, I am asking. I have another opportunity. I have a storage facility in the cockpit, so I can open one of the seats and put the bag inside. Is it okay for you?
If it is dedicated and if this place is watertight, yes.
It is
If
watertight
it is,
because
if
it is.
there-
I
Yes,
store
Luca.
everything over there, and it is dedicated, so it means that I can leave in there only the life raft.
Yeah,
Is it
that's
okay?
way better. Yes.
yes,
Okay, so I
that's
will
actually
put the soft bag in there, so it will be okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
okay.
So there is
Okay.
this question from Manuel. He's actually talking about the knife and the hand flares that
Mhm.
normally are stored in the grab bag. But he's saying if
Mhm.
the knife and the hand flares included in the life raft are enough
Mhm.
as an extra, or
You
it's a
know,
yes and a no.
yes and no. To be honest, completely honest, the rule about the grab bag itself is something that is, I would say, that caused us as ORC to make submission and to clarify the rule for the future. I think that the package of the life raft is, let's say, separate from the grab bag itself. So if you have the life raft and the package that should be in the life raft, it is maybe it's repeating the same thing, but the grab bag should be in this case taking independently, let's say, of the life raft. We hope that for the next year, for the future, we will clarify this rule and make some small changes to understand what is required for the life raft and what is not required for the life raft. So for the moment, we see this that grab bag is independent of the life raft.
Okay, there is Giovanna that raised her hand. Giovanna?
Yes, hi.
Hi.
Listen, regarding the life rafts, we are ready to part. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
yeah.
we are ready to part to several shore under OSR 3, and we had a soft bag for the life rafts fixed at the center of the cockpit. There's no specific storage, watertight companion, no kind of that kind of stuff. But we always race with the life rafts fixed in the middle of the cockpit, so to have it accessible and compliant with the rule to do not have the life rafts under under the deck. And
Yes. Mhm.
yeah, but I mean, there's
I
no
mean,
installation on the transom on that kind of solution.
yeah,
And
but the OSR is very clear on this. If you open the OSR, it's very clear. It says either a rigid set on the deck or if one is in the dedicated watertight container. I mean, when you read the OSR is very clear on this. I mean, you simply also in the checklist and in the picture there is a reference to the rule. You can double check the rule, but it's very clear that soft and type shall be in the dedicated watertight compartment.
yeah, but regarding the rigid fixed, what do you mean? Because we have really rigid tied to the center of the cockpit. So it's
If
tied
it is
through
rigid,
Dyneema rope and it's quite rigid, but
if it is rigid, if it is rigid container, a rigid pack of the life raft.
okay, the rigid pack.
Rigid pack. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
how you call it? It's a
Yeah. The
plastic
rigid pack.
shell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
There is a manual asking, must we buy chart 924 or another with same area?
I
Is
think
enough?
the chart. I'm not sure if there is actual reference in the notice of rate. We may double check on about the chart numbers, but the fact is you need the charts that they are covering the area where we are expecting to have the racing. As said, this is mostly on the Bay of Trieste and Monfalcone, going down to the south to the west coast of Istria, and then further down to Susa, Kuni, and at islands in Croatia. So if you have the charts that are covering this area, it should be okay.
Yeah, there is a reference, point 13, nautical charts,
Yes.
and it's talking about chart numbers 924.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the reference. And this is another question of total hand flares.
Well, Marcelo is asking about the hand flares. 4 hand flares and 2 orange smokes are okay in the life raft grab bag. Well, the 4 hand flares and the 2 orange smokes should be on board.
On board, not in the life raft.
And the 3 extra hand flares
In the grab
to be in the grab bag.
Yeah. Any other questions, or we
I
can
think,
continue
I
with
think I
the
have the
last
same
part?
problem. I think I have the same problem for the separate grab bag, because my life raft requires its
Mhm.
grab bag that has flares inside. So can these flares can be counted on the flares that are required for your grab bag, or I need two different grab bags?
Frankly, as rule is written now, and as I said, we are trying to make some
Yeah,
mission to clarify.
it is.
It seems that you need two different grab bags. That this grab bag is not the one that is referring to the life raft.
Okay.
Giovanna, please go ahead.
No, thank you. We're fine. No other question. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Marcelo,
Yes, can you hear me?
Not very best, but
it's
that's
a little bit
fine.
disturbing. If you want to maybe write in the chat, we can answer to you. But the audio is not the best, I have to say.
So I already write for the chat.
Okay. All right.
I see that on the list, there are 4 flares, 2 ORC. Now I see that I keep 4 flares.
Please just write in the chat, Marcelo. We cannot hear you properly. Thank you.
Okay,
I guess it was about the 4 hand flares and the 2 orange smokes.
yeah.
And we have another person raising his hand.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi, Jerne.
I put a question in, but I guess you skipped it. Doesn't matter. Question about the emergency tiller. So
Yes.
we have a tiller fitted to the rudder in the middle of the boat, inox tiller, older boat. I have no idea what emergency another emergency tiller would be in our case, because we never had any.
I guess your tiller, if is that steel, stainless steel?
Yeah, it's inox.
That's considered indestructible. So in this
That's
case, you
unbreakable.
don't have to have one. Yeah, unbreakable.
Okay. Just wanted to be sure. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Marco Romano is asking, compass calibration tables should be certified by any authority?
Not really, frankly, not as I'm aware of. I
No.
can double check. I'm not sure that there's such requirement.
Another one from Marcelo. On the safety checklist provided are mentioned 4 hand flares and 2 orange smokes. Now I understand that I need 3 more hand flares for the grab bag. That's correct.
Exactly.
And we got
Okay, we have any other questions?
and not on chat. We were waiting for. Now Marcelo wrote his question. No.
No.
At the moment, no.
Okay. It was good discussion. Thank you for making questions. Better always to ask and clarify before doing. As said, if you need any further clarification, please feel free also to write an email. But I hope that at least now some things are more clear, and you will probably be simply, as said, simply try to follow checklist and be sure that you have everything that is on the checklist to be present for the safety. The last part of this presentation is explaining what we are checking after the race. So after the racing, we are checking basically 2 boats in each class. Normally in a fully crewed, we are checking 3 boats because we are doing crew weights. But since we do crew weight, as explained before the race, we are doing only flotation for the first boat in each class and sails for the second boat in each class. So flotation selection is made when we know the results. So this means that both we have two offshore races. In the moment when you probably don't, when you finish the race, you might immediately know the results. We need to wait for everyone more or less to finish. and to understand the results on the corrected times. Once we know the results, then we will publish which boats are selected for the checks. This will be probably communicated to the notice board, or I think that I hope we will have the WhatsApp group of all competitors. And if you are selected, I'm always saying it's a kind of good news, bad news. Good news is that you are doing very well, and bad news that you will be checked. But bad news can become good news if everything is okay. So if we are selected for flotation, we will meet you at your mooring place and we will define the details, because obviously for flotation check we need some conditions. We need to understand the place where we can do it and when. Sometimes if for example, is blowing the wind all the time, in some places we may even come to the position that we are not able to do it. That's the good luck or bad luck for us or whatever. But we will not do it unless we have really good conditions. For the sails, we will probably have some space in marina. We will do the sails measurement, and if you are selected, you need to bring the largest of each mainsail, the headset set on the forestay, symmetric, asymmetric spinnaker, all headset set flying, and all asymmetric spinnaker with half feet to foot length ratio less than 85%. If the technical committee finds that boats do not comply with ORC rating rule, it shall protest the boat, and it may protest the boat for any infringement of the special regulations. The flotation check will start with the freeboard measurements. The certificate will be run with these measurements, and if to calculate the new APH and to compare with the one on the certificate. If the difference between the two APH is less than 0.1%, and both will be considered in compliance with her certificate, and we will stop here. If the difference is greater, we will continue with inclining test also. And then we will run again new test certificate. If the APH difference is still greater than 0.1%, technical committee will protest the boat, and ORC rule 305.2 will be applied. So just to explain you what is ORC rule 305.2. Whenever there is some measurement protest or some doubts about compliance with certificate, we basically need to rerun with the new measurement, new certificates, and to make the comparison of the new APH with the original one. As said before, if the difference is less than or equal to 0.1%, the original certificate is okay, and this means that boat is complying with the certificate. If the difference is more than 0.1, but less than 0.25, no penalty shall apply, but the new certificate shall be issued based on the new measurement data, and all races will be rescored using the new certificate. So this is kind of tolerance that can accept that, okay, it is not that you are penalized, but you are getting you need to have all the races rescored with a new certificate. However, if the difference is more than 0.25 and less than 0.40%, then the boat shall receive a scoring penalty. That shall be 50% of the score for did not finish. A new certificate again will be issued and all the data recalculated. If the difference is more than 0.40%, this is really serious, and both shall be disqualified in any race in which her rating was incorrect. Please also be sure that, in a case that there is any error found in the certificate, not to the fault of the owner, but for example, if the rating office find that there was some misprint or some wrong number or something that should not be, we can always correct it. Hopefully this will not need it, just as I hope that any of these except 304.2a will not be needed, but this is for you just to explain you the procedures when we have something that is considered as a non-compliance with the certificate. Crew changes, since you are in a double-handed and you already registered the crew, so basically you cannot change the crew except in case of injury or illness and with the written permission of the technical committee. So I really hope again that this will not be needed. You are all registered with the crew, original with the crew of 2 when you make the entry, except you can change this only if there is really some serious reason to do it. Let's hope that will not be needed. So it's not like for the big boats, since you have only 2 crew members, the rules are slightly different. As said, substitution of damaged or lost equipment is not allowed unless authorized by the technical committee. Again, we will have two races, so if anything is broken or damaged during the first short offshore race, you may request for the substitution for the long offshore race, and of course you can do this you should do this in the first reasonable opportunity. If this includes sales damage beyond repair, we need to review the sale and just to be sure that yes, the sale is damaged beyond the repair, and we can approve replacement sale for this. So basically, this is completing my presentation. We are coming to the chance of last questions. Maybe if you want to go back to something that we already passed, or something that if you think that I missed, or something on this last third part, please feel free to make any questions at this moment.
Marcelo, please go ahead.
Yeah. Again, very
It's no.
hard to. Yeah. Okay.
And
Look about
Barozzi got the email from Doodle.
Okay.
Hear me now?
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes, better.
Better? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Just on still again on the safety sheet checklist that you provided. On the second item, where you write ballast or generator, what do you mean if ballast or generator exist? Which generator you're talking about?
Let me double check. Matteo, can you double check it? Doesn't being
Yeah, I can
you
check that.
only, yeah, being the author of the.
Let me get back to you, Marcelo, in the chat, okay?
I think it's basically it's referring to the boat that have the generator, but it's not really considered as a ballast. Anyway, Matteo, please double check reference to the OSR, and maybe you can answer this.
Sorry, generator like
So-
water generator or a generator, electricity generator?
Let me double check. Sorry, let me double check. We are talking about the OSR. We are talking about 204. Basically, there is a general requirement that all heavy items shall be permanently fixed. The generator here, I think it's which generator it's referring to. Sorry, I also have to double check it.
Okay, can I take also this opportunity to ask you, since I
Mhm.
have all my sales, like the client sales, all in furled, is it okay if I present to you with, let's say, still furled, of course, with the ORC stamp readable?
Measurement step. Yeah. It for the sales, when you are presenting the sales, you basically need to present ORC measurement stamp. You don't need to unfurl everything. If you have the head of your sale where is the sticker, you just put that head out, and we need to check the sticker with the numbers. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
We will probably double check these things with the generator and answer you even by email if needed, because it's I think that we need to make the cross reference just to understand. But there was another question, I think.
Yeah, it's about from Heiko. It's about all the sales. Do all sales have to be kept on board for all races during the series, or can sales be dropped or added for
Yes.
individual races?
Okay, Heiko, I'm not sure if you are. This is what I was explaining in the first part of the presentation. So you don't need to have all the sales. You select which sales you want to have on the boat, but once you go out for that day, you cannot go back and take another sale, or you cannot. So at the moment when you are leaving the dock, these are the sales that you have for that day. Basically, what in this case for that race we have two races. So at the moment you select, if you go out, for example, with only one mainsail, and you leave another mainsail ashore, and you break that one mainsail, you cannot for that race you cannot replace it again. I hope I was clear.
Marcelo?
Sorry to always me again, but thank
Yeah.
you, Matteo, for replying regarding the generator. And that's why I'm interested, because I do have in the certificate two button C, like
Okay.
water generator, which I have on the certificate, but I'm not gonna use it on the stern. I'm gonna have it on board, stored where when in the same position when I made the
Flotation. Yeah, the
Flotation.
measurement, flotation. Yeah.
So if
No,
it's gonna be stored in my
Yeah.
in that position tight there.
Yeah. The only question is that it should be permanently fixed at the same as the ballast. That's what the point there is, that you cannot move it for some reason to change the trim. So if it is the heavy items like internal ballast, like a generator or like stuff like this, shall be permanently installed and fixed on that position, without possibility to be moved while racing. This is the point of that part.
Okay, it will be there from the beginning to the end. They will be stored in the forward cabin. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Exactly. Okay.
And a question from Philip that just joined, thinking that the meeting was starting at 5. We will send everybody the link of the
The video.
Yeah, the video.
On video. I mean, I'm sorry that it happened. We had to postpone it based on request from the organizer, because as we know that there is also Italian double-handed nationals going, and then we will probably have the clashing with this meeting. So that was the reason for change of the time, and this email was sent. I'm sorry, I don't know if someone was missed or something, but then nevertheless, we will publish this video, so everyone who was not able to follow it now, we can probably simply review the complete video later.
Yes.
Yeah.
And more questions? Any other doubts? No, it looks like all done. So I think only miss one person with a doodle to book his boat that didn't receive his email. And Alessandro would like to say something.
Yeah, I have a little question about the torches. So, in the end, how many flashlight torches have we to carry with us? 2 in the boat and 2 more in the grab bag. That's correct?
But torches, what do you mean by torches? Flares?
Flashlight.
Flares.
And we say le pile, le luci, okay?
Searchlight and flashlight. Yeah.
Sure.
This is
How many?
Searchlight and flashlight. No, you need to have only one that is stored in the grab bag.
Okay.
The one, if you look, Alessandro, if you look in the safety checklist under
Yeah.
the grab bag,
Yeah.
you can see that it's talking a watertight strobe light,
Yeah.
right?
What is it?
Yeah, and a flashlight with spare batteries. So those two need to be in the grab bag.
So they are two.
Yeah, one
grab
is a flashlight. The one is it's a strobe. It's like for like safety, just flashing. It doesn't. It's not for light.
But could be the same one.
I guess so. If you have,
Yeah,
but-
if it is included, like yes, I think that was. Sorry, just to double check where exactly is.
maybe part of the flashlight. Yeah, it's written
Yeah.
there. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Okay. And in the boat, only one.
No, that's the one that is stored in the grab bag.
So it's a bit confusing because on the second page of the list, there is one searchlight and one flashlight stored in the grab bag. So I understand that you are in accordance with this definition. On the other side, when I go to the grab bag, I see that there is they speak about another torch, okay, and so this is the specification of the other one.
That's what I was saying, that I agree that the rule about grab bag is a little bit confusing, and that's why we are trying to make submission for the next year.
I guess,
But
Alessandro, just to make things simpler, you need to have a flashlight, okay, that can be also this strobo light on the boat, and the searchlight in case if somebody is overboard and you need to spot somebody in the water. And he say that the flashlight should go in the grab bag. That's the most important thing. And the fact that they should have a minimum of IP67 rated, so we won't accept like normal, a light, like camping light. Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Questions?
No.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you all. Just to see, is Loris still with us in the call? If Loris wants to address anything on behalf of the organizer, or I don't see, frankly, if he is still in the call.
I am here, but I am in.
Yeah, Loris. Yeah, Loris. If you have any message for the end there, or to address something that will probably be missed, or what is important for the competitors.
Oh no, there is another competitor that I had to the list, and I send you this evening. But
yeah, I saw the first 36 SC, which was late entry, obviously now accepted by the organizer. Okay.
And Loris, is it possible to add this link on the website, the recording of the
yes, sure. I have asked this before.
Okay.
Okay. And
yes,
can you? I am in a car.
Yeah, nevertheless, I will send the Doodle link to those who are not yet registered in Doodle. I will send a reminder. Yeah.
The moment only Marcelo is missing the Doodle link, and we will send
there are
Loris the link of the meeting so he can post it on the website.
Perfect. We just need to wait. I think that first this video goes to our drive, and then it needs to be uploaded to the YouTube.
Yeah.
So maybe by tomorrow we will be able to publish the video.
And Zoran, should we give like the events email in case of question about?
Yeah, sure, no problem. Yeah.
So
you can type it. You can type it in the chat for everyone. Yeah.
So that's the email in case of questions regarding safety and all other regarding the championship. Events at orc.org. And yeah, so we'll address all the matters and questions.
Okay, thank you all for attending this call. I hope it was useful. Again, I hope that you will be prepared with as many as possible items before, and then it will be easier for both for us, but more for you, basically, to pass this pre-race inspection as soon as possible, and then you can concentrate on planning the race itself, not searching for the missing items. Thank you again also for the Loris Senior Club Monfalcone for organizing and inviting everyone. And I'm looking forward to meet you in Monfalcone in about 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Ciao, thank you,
Thank you all.
Zoran. See you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye. Ciao.
Goodbye.